I've seen a lot of campuses in India. For business, you need a campus in between the business hub. India is growing very fast. GDP is 8% and it is just started.
So what are the things which students and parents in today's time they should prioritize?
I think it has to be none of them but maturity.
If let's say a student comes to you today, joining any particular, applying for a particular institution,
At the end of the day, if he wants to buy a Mercedes, he wants to buy EV, or if he wants to go for a Toyota, all of them have their fallbacks and all of them have their bigger advantages as well.
foreign universities who are coming to India and setting up campuses versus new age Indian institutions who are offering global pathways, how should parents and students evaluate the trade-off?
See, I think this one is a pretty difficult one for parents as well.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the new episode of Converge podcast series with global education leaders at Masters Union. I am Sachin, an IIT and IIM Bangalore alumnus working as an associate director at Masters Union. आज हमारे साथ दो बहुत ही स्पेशल गेस्ट्स हैं जिन्होंने राजकोट जैसे एक छोटे से शहर में शुरुआत करके एक बहुत ही बड़ी और सक्सेसफुल ओवरसीज एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट की स्थापना की थी। ओवर द लास्ट 30 इयर्स इस इंस्टीट्यूट के माध्यम से हज़ारों से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स की मदद हुई है यूएसए, यूके, कनाडा और ऑस्ट्रेलिया जैसे कंट्रीज़ में एडमिशन्स और ग्लोबल अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ परस्यू करने में। आई वुड लाइक टू वेलकम मिस्टर विजय मेहता and Mr. Monil Mehta, who are the founders and directors of Transglobe Education. Welcome Mr. Vijay and Mr. Monil to Masters Union.
Thank you, Sachin bhai.
आपने अभी मास्टर्स यूनियन का कैंपस देखा जो कि DLF साइबर पार्क गुड़गांव में है, सराउंडेड बाय लॉट ऑफ फॉर्च्यून 500 कंपनीज। तो कैसा रहा आपका एक्सपीरियंस?
Sachin bhai, it was really good to see that this campus is equivalent to global campus, and it is the classrooms are the same what we see in US, UK, Australian universities, and the high quality classrooms are there, high tech. All there are cameras all around, and that are used by AI. Say use हो रहे हैं, so that is really good.
मिस्टर मोनिल, आपका कैसा एक्सपीरियंस रहा?
I think this kind of a space is good exposure to young kids, 17, 18-year-olds who go to London or maybe Melbourne or New York, and they are enriched by the world over there. But I think you get the same over here, the same kind of exposure, the same kind of society, the same kind of atmosphere which helps these people grow independently and with autonomy as well. So it's a fantastic place. With itself, the cyber hub and the campus as well is like a urban campus of lot of foreign universities. So
That's a compliment.
it's a lovely place to be.
Thank you so much for your kind words. आई वुड से इसका जो फिलॉसफी रहा है वो ये है कि अगर आप मेडिकल स्टूडेंट्स को देखें तो वो हम उनके जो इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं, मेडिकल कॉलेजेस हैं, वो हमेशा एक हॉस्पिटल के विसिनिटी में होते हैं। सो टू मेडिकल स्टूडेंट कैन नॉट लर्न टू डू सर्जरी अनटिल अनलेस वो प्रैक्टिकली उसको कॉलेज में सिखाते हैं। तो वाई शुड इट बी डिफरेंट फॉर एनी अदर स्ट्रीम्स, वेदर इट्स इंजीनियरिंग, बिजनेस और मार्केटिंग और फाइनेंस फॉर दैट मैटर। तो उसी फिलॉसफी के साथ हमने मास्टर्स यूनियन की शुरुआत जब की तो वी थॉट कि उसका जो कैंपस है वो सारे कॉर्पोरेट इकोसिस्टम के बीचों बीच में होना चाहिए।
I've seen a lot of campuses in India, but for business, you need a campus in between the business hub, and this is really a good initiative by Master Indian.
It has actually helped a lot. One, from a faculty movement perspective, so a lot of our faculties वो industry practitioners हैं, so a lot of times it makes it very easy if they want to work as well as teach on our campus. So like Mr. Rajat Mathur, who is MD of Morgan Stanley, वो हमारे कैंपस पे पढ़ाते हैं। चेयरपर्सन मिस्टर मनोज कोहली जो एयरटेल के CEO रह चुके हैं, वो भी हमारे कैंपस पे क्लासेस लेते हैं। एंड ऑल्सो ऑब्वियसली इट हेल्प्स इन प्लेसमेंट्स। आई रिमेंबर व्हेन आई वाज इन IIT रुड़की, तो हम बहुत स्ट्रगल करते थे इन टर्म्स ऑफ इनफैक्ट हम बहुत जेलस भी होते थे आईआईटी दिल्ली और आईआईटी बॉम्बे जैसे कैंपसेस को लेकर, जहाँ पे प्लेसमेंट्स के लिए देयर वर लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज जो वहाँ आती थी और रुड़की नहीं आती थी, बिकॉज जर्नी ही इतना लंबा था कि आप पहले दिल्ली आइए एयरपोर्ट पे, एंड देन फ्रॉम देयर आप 4-5 घंटे की कैब पकड़िए एंड देन यू विल कम। तो मैं अब जानना चाहूँगा ट्रांसग्लोब की जर्नी के बारे में, आपकी अपनी जर्नी के बारे में। तो विजय सर, आपसे सबसे पहले हम जानना चाहते हैं कि ट्रांसग्लोब की शुरुआत आज से 30 साल पहले हुई।
Yeah, we started in 1992.
1992।
So basically, what has happened, like I was in college and I wanted to go to US. तो वो टाइम पे I-20 मीन्स जो ऑफर लेटर्स वर कमिंग इन द पोस्ट ऑफिस, सो इट एडमिशन अप्लाई करते हैं तो आफ्टर 3 months द रिजल्ट्स कम, so so it was so frustrating and I could not make it, but I decided कि भाई
So 3 months later, offer letters are coming after that.
if you are eligible or not eligible.
आज के टाइम पे तो people
that is
have that kind of patience.
yeah,
कि 3 महीने वेट करें।
so from that I got an idea. So initially we started with a travel agency, and in 19 November 92 we started with travel agency, and from there we started with student visa. But initial years only very rich and famous families, sons and daughters could make to global education.
Right, obviously because they are the early adopters. पहले वो शुरुआत करते हैं and then others.
So it was very expensive at that time also. So very few can afford, and there was the banks were not so open and education loan, and that was a long process. So initial years it was 2-3 years. It was we have few students, and with the changing economics of India, things started moving. And actually, the real numbers started from 2001. So that was the story started from 2001, and from there things started moving, and from there we got many agreements with a lot of university around the world, and the numbers also grew, and we started with the small office of 800 square feet. Then we had another office for 2000 square feet. From there we have our own building, one more building in 2008, like and then another building in 2020. So we are around 20,000 square feet is for students for all the coaching classes, admission process, back office, and that is how we are doing right now.
Very inspiring journey is how I would put it. Uh, Starting from a 800 square feet office to expanding to 20,000 square feet. How has the journey been for the students? Like, I would want to understand कि पहले like you started with, let's say, US universities, और फिर वो कैसे transition हुआ over the years?
Basically we are in Gujarat. So Gujarati is all trends. So initial years it was only US only. From there there was a trend in 2001 is for New Zealand.
अच्छा,
And
okay.
and from New Zealand 2003
US first, then
New Zealand, then came Australia
okay.
from 2003 to 2008. Then from 8 onwards it was UK, and like all the countries were there, but more students were going to, like, if there are 100 students, 80 will go to UK,
US, okay.
and 80 US or UK.
US or UK.
And then from there things started moving to Canada. So 2014 onwards it was completely Canada up till 22. And the numbers were very big, like all our offices, campuses were full. You have no parking for scooters, or a car is impossible. The
That
scooters,
is actually a very good problem to solve, कि parking की
yeah, parking, there was no parking.
where
We staff was shortage, and it was skyrocketing. And but there was some issues in Canada. Due to that, the numbers have come down drastically.
this is after COVID.
Yeah, after COVID in 2023.
So really, I would like to thank you, Mr. Vijay, how you shared your entire journey. And it's not easy to start from a small tier 2 city like Rajkot. Uh, but as you mentioned, I'm now able to relate that starting में there were early adopters who were rich, influential parents. And from there, gradually, people started coming in. and how you expanded to a lot of global universities across multiple countries. So, coming to you, Mr. Monil, so you have studied in Australia and then you came back. So, a quick recap of your journey from Australia to India, and how has been the exposure there and opportunities there versus how it's in India?
Oh, it's more than a decade that I went and studied and returned. So, some good memories, obviously, but studying abroad is always fascinating when you are a child, and then that's when you come when you are in year 11 or 12 is when you talk to your parents, and when this option is given to you, and you speak about it with your friends in your school, and it is so fascinating. It is like get you the first one to get a girlfriend. So that's how studying.
So you get popular amongst your friends. Ki,
Yeah,
"Yaar, I'm going
exactly.
to
So that is how studying abroad in 2012-13 used to be, specifically if you're going to a good university in US or Australia or UK, and then maybe your friends would follow you as well. But yes, the journey.
friends and even juniors would
Yes,
look up to you."
exactly. And but the journey, once the initial processes were done with, was a very enriching one, because we were all taught in good, strong boarding schools where we had all the luxuries, we had all the family members, and from there to going somewhere where you manage your own finances, where you don't have your father or mother to call and cry to. If you cry on the phone, they can do nothing. You have to manage your electric bills, you have to manage your water bills.
So after Australia, after your studies, so you worked there as well, or you came back to India?
Came back right away, but while I was studying, I was working. So I worked in one of the biggest education consultancy in Australia, based onshore, and a few other places as well. So I had exposure as well while studying. So that really helped me take a call after finishing my studies. Usually, people work after finishing their studies to earn back what they've spent, but I felt it was right for me to come back, because Transglobe was a very well settled business. My father has been running it along with my mother for more than 25 years, back then in 2015. And
50.
yeah, so I thought it will be a right call. And with the kind of demands put forward by our universities, we always needed a hand from within the family. So I think that decision, which was taken by my father, was a very, very good one.
Very contrasting facts which you just mentioned. कि पहले हम कुछ एक अलग विजन के साथ देखते थे, now it's a different vision. So what's the rationale behind it? Why that change?
Yeah, like India is growing very fast. GDP is 8%, and it is just started. Like Mr. Modi was there in our city last month. So Vibrant Gujarat was there. So he told one slogan कि यही सही वक्त है इंडिया के लिए. So I not today, but I always prefer that students must study in India and give back to that country. And now we have a lot of institutions, colleges, universities. They are global standards. What I've seen, Master Union is the best example where you get the best of exposure, the best of degrees, and like for India, I think this is the best place to study, Master Union, and students can learn the global part over here itself. They don't need to go abroad. They can go for a bachelor's or they can go for master's. 2 3 years, 3 years of 4 years in Delhi, or and then go abroad, or vice versa. They can do. That is my thinking.
No, definitely. I think with respect to the population of India and the workforce requirement, educational opportunities in India are definitely limited. But from a students and parents perspective, how the dynamics are changing and opportunities जैसे बढ़ रही हैं इंडिया में, and globally भी how the situation is. उसके accordingly अगर एक student को सोचना है आज के टाइम पे कि between academics, skills, outcomes, and practical learning, if they want to prioritize, so what are the things which students and parents in today's time they should prioritize over anything else?
I think it has to be none of them but maturity, because these days kids don't see a real picture. They are into their life is the Instagram phone, and their life starts there and it ends there. And by the time they realize that this is just taking my time, this is a lot of valuable years are gone. So this maturity will come when they leave home, go abroad, and they face the world. In India, they are still in a familiar territory, irrespective, even if they go from east to west or north to south. India is India, so they will have luxuries of life, but to have a bit of a reality, they will have to go out and mature themselves by doing a lot of things that they couldn't do in India.
There, here I can tell, like, if they study at Master Union, one semester they study in UK, one semester in US, Singapore, and Dubai. That is international exposure, and that will give them real exposure. So this is very exciting. So these programs are very rarely I've seen in India. So this is an opportunity for the students, those who are looking for a real exposure. It is only not one country. If the student goes to studies for US, it will be US only. Here it is they go to multiple countries, and that is a real exposure.
Between the foreign universities who are coming to India and setting up campuses versus new age Indian institutions who are offering global pathways programs and exposure. So, how should parents and students evaluate the trade off given that these Indian campuses are fairly new and they are evolving?
See, I think this one is a pretty difficult one for parents as well. But I think Indian institutions will have a slight edge than the foreign ones because their biggest USP is the location. And now that they are here, they don't have that USP. But saying so, their education is also modern and new age, like the new age Indian universities and institutions. So it is the first few years that might take this institution some time to settle in, and maybe the marketing budgets and the market convenience or the penetration would take some time. But 4 5 years 6 years down the line, they are going to give equal competition to Indian institutions.
Right. So, from a parent's perspective, uh, usually when they would want to study at these foreign institutions, so they have different reasons. Like you also mentioned, if you go to another country, a lot of things to learn and look up to. But when foreign users are coming to India, so what should be the mindset of the parents and students? Even if let's say not now, but few years down the line when these institutes mature. So what should be the outlook and why should they? What should be one key reason why they should go and pursue this, or they should not be pursuing this versus if they want, they should directly go abroad only.
Mm. See, the reasons are very simple. If you would want to pursue a degree in India with this institution, is two. One is you want affordability, because you're not able to go to that particular country, and hence you're doing that course over here. And the second reason why you should pursue it over here is maybe because certain courses or certain degrees are not available in institutions in your vicinity. So this might be the two very reasons that students would pursue these degrees in India, and the reason why they shouldn't pursue is also a very simple reason, is because these students would at the end choose this kind of universities for their global exposure, which they are not getting, and obviously these institutions will take some time to get the industrial relations and connections with Indian institutions and Indian companies. So, for them to come up in India, the ROI setting up a new institution, Indian institution in India, is quicker than a foreign university is coming and setting up a name and a brand over here, because it's altogether a new brand, is what I believe.
India is a very big potential. Like if you see, there are not thousands, lakhs of students they graduate or postgraduate. So that numbers are so big, and now they have options to study. Like they can study in Western Union or the foreign institution. Those they open the campuses in India. in Gurugram or in Gift City, or their local universities in their cities. So there is a there will be a lot of options, and that options will give them chance to explore and go to the best of their caliber.
So I would say India is at the right juncture uh, where we are now able to offer enough opportunities for the students.
Because
The
a lot
a
of
lot of
choices.
choices are available for the students to study here, uh, rather than traditional way of thinking where they were first thinking about going abroad and then coming back. So next, I would like to understand what is the perspective of today's students versus what students used to think, let's say 10, 15 years back in terms of career choices. What are the new age career options that students want to pursue? And accordingly, what would be your advice? How should institutions shape up their curriculum in accordance with the new age career choices students are looking at?
I think today's new age curriculum has to be no classroom kind of a curriculum where students come to the university or institution to actually learn, not just to study, and be engrossed practically so that they get something out of the institution. Uh, Earlier, what used to happen is, and how traditional universities work here and abroad, is they have a set of bookish education where education is pursued, assessments are done, and an outcome is given. But now, with the way foreign universities have adopted new age technologies in education and new courses, which used to be maybe a subject, uh, is something that has become a course altogether. For example, way back there used to be a course with marketing called integrated marketing communications. Now, integrated marketing communications is altogether a degree. So, similarly, AI used to be maybe a very small component or something which has been going on since the inception of robotics, and
And now it has become very, very relevant.
exactly. And yeah, the AI is about training your bot, and you feed in the information, you train the bot, and it works for you.
100%. In fact, the practical orientation for an institute, uh, the technology focus, and getting that understanding to the student at an early stage and helping them decide that career path and choose the right options. Uh, that is what I think has been going very well at Transglobe. Uh, that's what I could understand from the discussion today. I would like to thank both of you for coming here, taking out time, and sharing your entire journey, your key experiences, and uh, also we discussed the changing dynamics of the global landscape, how students are evaluating their options from one destination to other global destinations, and what are the rising opportunities in India, and how should one student make their career choices at this point of time. Thank you very much. Thank you once again.